welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a look at how to draw a nose and paying attention to sort of the basic structure and again understanding the underlying anatomy as to why noses are actually kind of difficult to make look very three-dimensional. Right, so typically when we're thinking about how we draw a nose, right, there's often this kind of like, we'll draw the two sides of the bridge of the nose here, and then we'll draw the nostrils, something like this, right? Again, this is about how we think a nose looks, but we're not actually paying attention to the actual structure and the lighting that is necessary in order to understand the form of the nose itself. So again, I have an image that I'm drawing from on my computer screen. I'm going to be loading that into the bottom corner so that you can kind of follow along and get a sense of what it is I'm doing and what I'm referring to as I'm creating this particular drawing. So to start with, right, I do need to recognize that, you know what, the nose is kind of triangular, right? But it doesn't come to a perfect point, all right? And that's also another misconception of what happens is it comes to a single point, right? But there is actually width across the top. And I'm going to bring these down. So in many ways, you could almost say that this is a little bit more trapezoidal in nature, right? And then from there, we also kind of get the sides of the nose coming down. Okay? So what I'm doing here is just kind of creating a basic structure and recognizing that there are essentially, I'm going to call them three planes to the nose. There's the top or the ridge, and then there's the two sides. The hard part is getting it to look as though it's actually curving over the top as opposed to extremely flat or extremely blocky. All right, and that's what we're going to be aiming for today. So once I have the sort of the base of the nose width established and I've got an idea of how wide I want the top of the nose to be, I'm going to start focusing in on the details down at the tip. Okay, so I'm going to use a circle here to represent the tip. And I'm going to use a couple of other circles here to sort of start blocking in the nostrils. And it's important, once I have this part kind of established, is I'm going to be working on defining where the tip and the nostrils kind of interact and intersect with each other. Okay? So I'm drawing some lines here, right, in order to define the edge of the nostrils, right? And with this nose in particular, it's kind of coming across down at the bottom, right? And this is where the dark area is going to be, and I need to see, I'm seeing that there's a little bit of a ridge here, right? The outside of the nose is fairly defined, right? But it's going to taper off as it comes up and around. Okay. Through here, there's going to be a change in the overall lighting, and I'm seeing that there's a highlight on the nose right in this area. Okay, so starting down at the base here, I'm blocking this in, making the nostrils nice and bright, and again, starting with some kind of like basic midtones and trying to work so that the values are butting up to the lines that I'm drawing. I'm going to be making these a little bit darker, so I'm not getting an outline, right? Because it's the outline will also make the nose look extremely flat. So I'm just coming through, adding in some value. I'm seeing that it gets a little bit darker through here, and a little bit darker through here, right? A bit darker underneath. Right, but not quite it's definitely not as dark as the nostrils. Okay. The sides of the nose, right, I'm going to start blocking this in with some value. And the one side over here is a little bit darker, so I'm going to be able to use that in order to help kind of define what's going on. It's darker on the outside of the nose over here. Okay, and again, getting a little bit of value in. And slowly building it up. Okay, so the outside of this nostril is quite a bit darker. And then it trails up. All right, you'll notice that I'm changing the direction of my pencil quite frequently, and that's in order to overlay the graphite in a way that it's blending together. I'm closing up the spaces. It gives me a little bit more control over the tone. Okay, so now I'm starting to work up a little bit on the edge. Right, and just like when we were working with the eye, right, I'm needing to be thinking about some of that space that's in and around as well. It's not just the nose in and of itself. Right, and I can come in with my eraser. I can add in a little bit of a couple of highlights here in order to try and make that look a little bit more natural. All right, so these are some basic steps. Okay? Again, think about where the ridge is, establish the sides, go in, determine where the tip and the nostrils are with some light circles, and then it's just a case of going in and adding in some values. Again, paying very, very careful attention to your reference photo. All right, good luck, guys. If you have any questions, please let me know, and look forward to seeing what you're able to put together. Have a great day. Bye.